Okay, if you've been served with a temporary restraining order and you're facing a final hearing for injunction against you, this video is for you. You're really going to want to hear how we can beat or defend the potential injunction that you're facing. Just keep in mind that a temporary restraining order, if it's been ordered against you, there's nothing anybody can do about that. You got to let that go. Oftentimes people don't know that there's somebody petitioning the court for a temporary restraining order until after the judge has already granted it. So if it's against you, I know it's frustrating, but you gotta just let it go. Let's focus on the bigger picture, and that is the final injunction hearing. That's the one that you want to be prepared for. In this video, I'm just going to talk about the 4 most common ways that I beat or defend successfully against most injunctions. The first is we convince the petitioner at the final injunction hearing to not go forward with the final injunction hearing and just agree to voluntarily dismiss the injunction. There are many ways we can do that. It's a longer conversation. We can talk about that here in the office and the various ways we're able to do that. So that's the first most common way that we beat injunctions. The second is has less to do with us and more to do with the petitioner, is that they just don't show up to the final injunction hearing. We can come prepared to go to battle at the final hearing and go to trial, have our witnesses lined up and everything, but if the petitioner doesn't show, the judge will not grant the final order of injunction and you win. The third is that the petitioner agrees just to keep the injunction temporary. Just because there's a final injunction hearing set doesn't mean that the injunction has to turn final. If the petitioner will agree to just extend the temporary injunction and keep it temporary, and there's no violations of that temporary restraining order, we can go back to court, and usually they'll just agree to dismiss it, and both parties put the matter behind them. The fourth, longest and most expensive way to successfully beat or defend against an injunction is to actually go to trial. That's where we will go to the final injunction hearing. We will go to court with witnesses, with all the information that we have to defend against what the allegations are in the petition against you. Now, this can, be as long or short depending on the facts of the case. We can request depositions of all the witnesses on the other side. We can request discovery. We can do interrogatories. If we think that their accusations and the petition is baseless, we can demand attorney's fees from the other side. There's a lot of different things we can do to give us the best possible chances of prevailing in your injunction case. But the best way to get started is to really sit down, bring the petition into an attorney's office, sit down with them and see what possible defenses they can, and really open and honest communication with the other side does bear a lot of fruit. So you don't have to go into this thing thinking that you have to come out, with you have to come out swinging. Oftentimes we are able to successfully resolve injunction cases very amicably with the other party and with the other attorneys. There's no need for it to get unprofessional. If we can resolve the case peacefully and amicably for you, we'll do that. If not, we're prepared to fight for you in court.